Well, he and I were in like a lab experiment called Kicking Daisies, and basically, you know, we just ended up pairing up with Richie and Jeff. And
to them, it was just like
Kicking Daisies Part 2.
Kicking Daisies Part 2, and to us, it was like us joining a band, and it just kind of like developed into like our band. So that's why we wanted to start over.
Yeah, it was really important that we just became our own band. You know what I mean?
Like,
Something
like
that was
25%.
all of us, 100%. This, I mean, for me personally, I think this is the most invested in a group I've ever been. You know.
you can only be so old and in a band called Kicking Daisies.
Yeah.
And we just really wanted to see what all four of us can do together, you know, as far as writing and everything like that. So.
We were honestly like just sitting in a basement like looking for band names, and we were going through like I think like 50s movies and 40s
1920s
movies.
movies.
Just like crazy old movie titles. And it was like Silent Scenes from Paradise, or like or Scenes from Paradise and Silent something. And we had written those down as band names, and the Silent Scene was like, oh wow, that's cool. And I think to us it kind of means like just moments that you can't really put like real memories to, but like,
I mean, for me personally, it's kind of just like all those memories that you've kind of forgotten about, the ones that aren't even there anymore. They're just kind of...
Yeah, just for me, it was just the only name that felt right. You know, we had a whole list of band names, and that was the only one that really captured my attention.
There's a lot of pop punkish ones that were just too...
so many pop
just
punk
way
ones.
too Warped Tour, like way too, like, I don't know. And I think the Silent Scene just kind of resonated really well with all four of us.
For
and
sure, yeah.
As soon as we kind of started thinking about it, we didn't want to move away from it because it just felt so, I don't know.
It kind of describes like the movement that we're going for. It's even more so than a band name, you know. It's like
for sure.
it's the branch of a movement that I think we're trying to push.
we usually go by indie dance, electro house, sort of taking like the whole indie dance movement and the groove of that and kind of just putting some electronic spin on that.
Indie alternative inspired pop songs. You know, it's a lot. We have it's like a bank of influences, just from like Frank Sinatra to Coldplay to, you know, Death Cab for Cutie to Say Anything. You know, just like it just goes on and on and on. Like we love metal, we love, you know, electro house, we love, you know, even jazz, you know, like just a lot of stuff.
I think some songs on the EP we broke like 120 tracks on, dude. If there was an instrument that sounded good and we could get our hands on it, we tracked it. Like whether it was a sample or a real recording or like a rim shot that we then turned into like 20 rim shots over each other, dude. It was
Crushers and decapitators.
We had a good time with it, dude. I mean, you could hear anything from like guitar to you'll listen to it and be like, I don't know what that is.
It's just fun. It's just, we have a lot of fun with it, man.
Yeah.
Just the whole process. We just love it. I like, it's my main outlet, you know. I don't like to like, you know, chase my problems away with the bottle and like, you know, like I face it. We all do. Just
it's kind of like a diary. I mean, it's like most people
out.
say, it's like a diary kind of like. You just get it off your chest pretty much, and it's a lot easier to write when you're bummed out and like when a lot of stuff's happening. Like it's cool sometimes to write when good things are happening, but it's just like it's so
kind of cool.
It's just a relief, you know what I mean? It's a nice release to just.
It just makes it that much
let it
more
out.
fulfilling when
like,
it's out there and you put your emotions into it. And,
exactly.
you know,
Especially
you
if
see
there's
people
like,
react to it.
There's like a major thing going on in my life, like regardless of if it's good or bad, like anything, whatever it is, anything at all, it's easy to like write about it because it's like I'm so familiar with that outlet of expression. It's just kind of, I mean, me personally, it's just like second nature to me at this point. And you know, bringing it to the band, it's like we just bounce off each other until it's like, you know, till we're all content with, you know, whatever we've made.
During that time period, we were just, you know, in that basement a lot, just getting a lot of the writing done and just really working as a band as far as practicing and just building the Silent Scene.
He had like a Sony camera laying around his house, and I
Yeah.
think one day we were just dicking around with that, and we were like, hey, we should just start filming a bunch of shit. So
Yeah.
At the same point, though, it was cool to kind of give the fans like
I love
an
doing
inside
vinyl lives,
scoop.
yo.
You know,
I'm
into
all about it.
What we were doing.
When we started playing this EP live, it was just, we finally got to show people what the silent scene was about live, and just with these songs, like people were reacting really well, and it was just a fresh feeling to be playing.
It was
them.
like a relief because, like, to us, like, shows are the big picture. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, I live and breathe playing shows. I love performing. I love it. We all do.
Yeah,
And so when we finally got the new material in, it just kind of felt like, finally we have something that represents us the way we want to be, represented.
It's like when you're in the studio for so long, you kind of lose track on the perspective of it. You know what I mean? And like when you finally get the chance to play it live for people and see the reaction, it's awesome.
The live show kind of just built those songs into something completely different, and it was really awesome for us. Definitely. It's really rad just to see like the audience, how broad it is. Like our old band, it was just like kind of just the teenage girls, and that was it. And like the cool thing is we still have that.
It's cool because we found out that we kind of had a broad spectrum from, like teenagers that get that kind of pop vibe from our songs to people, in their, mid-20s, early
Yeah, there's like
30s,
the Bieber Directioner kids, and then there's like, super hipster, like, Williamsburg.
1975 fan.
Yeah.
Like, and then we got,
One dreadlock on the side.
the whole, kids going to EDM shows and stuff. They're really digging it too, which is kind of cool because it's like it's like reflects on the electronic element that we're kind of putting into it. It's like you can see how that's rubbing off on the audience.
It's funny because, like, of course we love rock shows. Like, we'll always be Warped Tour kids at heart. But there's something about the dynamics of those club shows that just brings it to another level. Like, you know what I mean? Like, sonically, it's just like, it's just bigger. It's just louder.
It's like
you know,
interaction
it's
with
just
the fans.
it gets to a point where certain organic artists just can't bring it to that level. They just can't because it's all. Real like natural instruments. That's just they're just limited to like this, bass player, guitar player, drummer, and then a singer. You know what I mean? And it's like,
Which is still rad.
it's all right. Yeah, it's rad, but like there is a whole world of sounds and styles and like there's just a whole universe that you can combine into like your sound, into your show, and it's just like being a part of that. Getting to be a part of that is incredible.
What's up? We're the Silent Scene, and look for us on Last.fm.